Hey guys, thanks for joining us on another adventure here on our channel, Raising Boys Outdoors. We've got another exciting episode for you. We're gonna go out back and do some searching for some insects and some bugs and see what we can find. So this is right behind our shop. So this is one of our first places we always start looking. It's right under an old trash can. And as you can see, we are starting off pretty strong. Right out of the gate, we found an awesome salamander. This time of the year, it's very easy to catch them because they're cold, so they're pretty docile. Hey chickens. Very easy to catch. They're not running around being crazy. But look at this guy. That's a good find. These are one of Will's favorites. As you can see, he's very just relaxed and laid back. The cool weather keeps these guys very, very calm. So we're gonna go ahead and put him in Will's bug catcher. Get him added in there. Will got this for Christmas and absolutely loves it. It's a great spot to catch bugs, to check them out and see what they do. So we decided we wanted to go ahead and put a little bit of dirt in there and build them a nice little habitat while we hold on to them before we let them go again. So we added a little bit of dirt in there and to kind of recreate their environment to keep them pretty comfortable while we're out and about collecting more bugs. There's Mom. We love going out and doing this as a family. It's a lot of fun for all of us. So right here is another great spot. This is some old tin from an old doghouse I built a while back that we've got piled up back here. As you can see, it's pretty big, so it's heavy. So me and Mom are gonna go ahead and lift this stuff up. You gotta be careful lifting tin because it can cut you. And with it being so heavy, it usually takes two of us to lift it up. So nothing under this first sheet. It's usually not going to find too much when it's this cold, metal on metal. It's a little too cold for insects or reptiles, but we'll look anyways. Check under both. Not much. When it's a little warmer out here, we typically find lots and lots of lizards, so it's almost like a lizard breeding ground. So when we're done looking, we're sure to always put things back like we found them and clean up after ourselves. And now we're gonna head over towards Grandma and Grandpa's house. So they live right through the woods. So we like to walk over there and check out their areas and see what they've got. As you can see, there's a bunch of 3D animal targets over here. This is our archery range. We all like to shoot our bows. We do a lot of bow hunting. Here's an old caribou. It's been shot quite a bit. It's been around for a long time. Got William over here lifting up another archery target, checking to see if there's anything under there. Unfortunately, there's not much. So we're gonna continue our adventure heading over to Grandma and Grandpa's. This is Grandpa's little cabin. This is actually his music studio. It's super cool. We like going and checking out that area. And then we've got Bean right here. So Bean's been in the family for a long time. She's like 14 or 15 years old. And as you guessed it, Mom loves animals. So she's gonna head over there and grab Bean, pick her up, give her a little bit of love. Probably against Bean's will. Now we're gonna head over near Grandma and Grandpa's barn. This is actually their garden. Lots of fruits and vegetables. Will loves eating strawberries out of there during the summertime. But we're gonna go ahead and lift up this old tarp and see if we can find anything. There's typically all kinds of good stuff right around this area. So let's take a look and see if we've got anything. Oh, looks like Will found something. We've got another salamander. So we're starting off really strong. 2 salamanders, pretty close back to back. We're gonna add him to our collection. Mom's gonna help getting this bug collector opened up so we can get him added in there. As you can see, we've got 2 salamanders. Both these guys are about the same size, and you can see they're very, very relaxed right now. We've got some railroad ties we're gonna flip over right here. Generally over here, you find a lot of earthworms, some beetles and stuff. Oh, look, there's an earthworm right there. Whenever it's warmer, we find a lot of ringneck snakes over here as well as some lizards. So this is always a great place to look. So Will loves finding just about anything he can find. Beetles, bugs, all of it. We love finding all of it, any of it. So we're gonna flip over these logs, see if there's anything in this area. Usually with these decomposing logs, we find a lot of grubs, a lot of different insects. One time we did find a handful of salamanders all over here. It was almost like a little salamander breeding ground as well. There was tons of them over here. I think we found 4 or 5 under one log. So it doesn't look like we're having that luck today, but we're gonna continue to dig through this little bit of stuff, see if we can find some grubs, any kind of mealworms, anything like that over here. Let's see, what do we got? Not much of anything today. So we'll head over here. Will swore he heard some mice over here the other day, so he wanted to show you guys, bring you along and see if we heard any. Oh, there's one of our Grandma and Grandpa's roosters. He's a good looking guy. But with it being a barn, typically there's mice running around here, and Will swore he heard one the other day, so he wanted to show you guys. We unfortunately didn't hear it, so I'm gonna head over here. This is an old little pool that would keep filled up with water. Will found some little beetles right here. I think he found 2 of them. They didn't quite make it through the winter. Something got a hold of them, so it's just their shells that are left. So, poor dudes didn't make it. But this is where we typically find tons and tons of tadpoles. We find hundreds of them. Will loves to catch them with his fingers, or with his hands, look at them, watch them grow legs, and release them back into there to turn into frogs. This is actually an old outhouse Grandpa built, so careful we open this thing up. It's kind of cool. No one really uses it, but kind of give you an idea what it was like back in the day when there was no indoor toilets. So pretty cool. It's been out here for a long time. It's one of those places where when you go into, you kind of got to be careful, and it's a great spot to find spiders and sometimes snakes. So moving along, we've got some old logs here. We're going to lift these guys up and see if we see anything. If we find logs, we always lift them up, no matter where they are. If there's a log pile, Will is going to look under it and see if we find anything. So Will taking lead here on the camera. He loves running the camera, and he loves interacting with you guys, and he always wants you guys to leave comments for him. So make sure if you got any questions or comments, drop them in the comments box. Will loves to read them. So it's clearly a beautiful day out today. Walking through the woods, it's nice and clear. We're heading further back behind the house. This is something we actually found a couple weeks ago, and we wanted to show you guys. But this is a horse from our neighbor's farm that didn't make it. So unfortunately, sometimes on the farms around here, animals don't make it, and what happens is they get pulled off and they get brought back here or different areas and dumped, and they get broken down, and Mother Nature does what it does. So they decompose and make their way back into the earth. So that was an old horse, but this was a calf that didn't quite make it. So Will wanted to show you guys this as well, and the rope that he found. But this calf, again, it didn't make it either. So it got dropped off back here, and it'll be broken down and make its way back into the earth as the critters in the earth reconsume it. And once they are fully done decomposing, we'll come back here, and Will likes to look at the bones and take a look at the skulls and check them out a little bit closer. So here is a little puddle that Will found, and if there's a puddle, Will's gonna step in it. So he almost lost a shoe, but luckily he didn't this time because it is pretty cold. So he's splish splash around in here, especially during summertime. You'll find him running through all the puddles and all the water runoff in our ditches. But as we were headed back, we noticed this yellow bucket. So of course we got to head over there and do a little bit more investigation, see what's underneath of it. So we're going to flip this thing over and see if we can find any critters, any creepy crawlers under it. Let's see if we can see anything. Nope, it doesn't look like we found anything. So we're going to put it back, and we'll come check it out another day. It's a little further up, we found another bucket. So Will wanted to check it out, see if there's anything underneath of it. Let's see, flip this thing over. Nope, just an acorn. Nothing too exciting. So here is an old decomposing log that we found. There's not much under it, but you notice there are some mushrooms growing out of it, a little bit of fungi right there. Check that out. Cool little mushrooms. Make sure Will don't eat them. And this was a big log that we found. It took 3 of us to flip it over. It's a great spot for things to hide. It's really broken down, decomposing. With it being so cold, majority of the insects and stuff are a little deeper underground, so you don't find them right at the surface like we do when it's warmer. So again, nothing under these guys. The only thing here on this one is a few black ants, but that was really about it. we'll dig up under here a little bit further and see if there's anything else. Nope, it doesn't look like it, so I'll go ahead and put this log back like I found it. And this is an old drainage ditch. So this thing is great for mosquitoes and snakes. That's really about it. There's a bunch of old junk around it, so we'll go ahead and flip these shingles over, see if we can find anything underneath there. Keep digging through these. I don't see much. It's pretty wet, but it is very cold, so majority of the things are pretty deep underground. So we're gonna head out of here. We're gonna head back towards the junkyard that's right near our house, right after Will flips over this log. See if we can get anything under here. Flip it on over. Let's see if we can find anything. I don't see much, but it does look like Will found a little, looks like a centipede. Or a millipede, excuse me. He found this guy. Will loves picking these things up. They got tons of legs. He likes letting them crawl over his hands and checking them out. So we're gonna add that guy to our collection. Add it to our salamanders and earthworms. And then we're gonna make our way over here. We've got another log that we found. This one we typically find good stuff under all the time. We found some really awesome toads, some different really big beetles, all kinds of good stuff over here. But unfortunately today we're not finding much. So let's flip this tin over, see if there's anything under it. Tin is great for finding snakes during the warmer weather. We find a lot of ringnecks, even some copperheads. Let's see if there's anything under this. Nope, not much. Just some wet ground. Oh, but Will did find a rock. So Paul, if you're missing your rock, we've got it for you. Just let us know. We'll get it back to you. What do we got here? We got an old 2x4 with, look at that. We found a nice, Will found a nice toad under that. He looks like he's actually sleeping, so Will looks like he might have disturbed him. He's a big guy. So that's the first toad we found today. That's an awesome find. Will loves finding any kind of frogs, tree frogs, toads, all kinds of different frogs. So he's gonna go ahead and put him back in his little burrow where he found him, let that guy get back to rest so we can find him another day. We're gonna continue flipping this log, see if we see anything. What do we got? Looks like a bunch of roly-polies. We find those things everywhere around here. So Will used to collect those guys when he was little. So moving on to this guy, let's see if we've got anything under this. Look at that, that thing is huge. So looks like we just found a skink. Will's got a big one. That guy is fat. That might be the biggest skink that we have ever found. That thing is absolutely huge. If you look at it, its tail is missing. It looks like something might have got it and he dropped his tail and it's in the process of growing back. So that is super neat. But look how laid back he is. Wow, that guy is enormous. Very, very cool looking. Very, very relaxed. So we're gonna put him back in his burrow. That's an awesome find, Will. Put him back in his burrow, get him back in his home where he belongs, so he can get comfortable and ride out this winter. And look, Will actually found a frog in there too, so we got a skink and a frog. We find these guys, Will calls them little wood frogs. We find them typically under logs and any kind of piles of wood, so great find. We find these guys all over. Will loves collecting these guys, checking them out, observing them, and then putting them back in their home. They love the moist areas under stuff. Great little find right there. So we're gonna take that guy, we're actually gonna put him back in his home with the skink, get them back where they belong. Right after Will gets them settled back in. Look at that guy, super cool looking. He's got really good colors on him. So we'll put these guys back and we'll put their log back over them so they're back in their shelter and safe from the elements. Nice find there, Will.
I'm actually highly surprised that William still likes to pick up skinks, because last spring we came outside and found one on our back step and it was huge. And he asked his dad, will it bite? And his dad assured him it would not. Well, let's just say he found out the hard way. They do bite and it hurts pretty bad.
It does, you know, learning curves, it happens, but we survived. So here we go, we found some more stuff. We got some little millipedes here. These chickens actually love these, they're into little treats. But look at all the things we found. Some salamanders, earthworms, millipedes. We've got all kinds of stuff. So it was a great day exploring. Oh, we found a little field mouse who didn't make it. When that happens, we see him dead ones around the house all the time. But we really appreciate you guys joining us on our adventure today as a family out back looking for critters. That's one of our favorite things to do, and we're glad to be able to share it with you guys. You know, Will really does enjoy heading outside and finding and searching for all types of insects and reptiles. But that's it for today. We're going to let these guys go back in their home, put them back in a nice safe spot under this old trash can so that they can ride out the winter, and we can hopefully find them another day, keep them safe and out of the elements. But as always, we really appreciate you guys joining along. Please, if you have any comments, drop them in the comments box below for Will. He loves to read them. And we hope that you'll like and subscribe our channel for more adventures. And again, we really appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys in the next video.